There comes a moment in a chosen one's life when the illusions of this world begin to fade. The noise, the distractions, the false attachments, they all start to dissolve, and what remains is truth. The truth of who you really are. You begin to see beyond the surface of things, and you realize that everything you went through, the pain, the isolation, the betrayal, was never punishment. It was preparation. You were being trained by the divine to awaken the power that was always hidden within you. When a chosen one remembers who they are, the entire spiritual realm takes notice. The universe rearranges itself to align with their true identity. Because once a chosen one awakens, they are no longer just existing. They are creating, transforming, and leading. If you are watching or hearing this message right now, this is not by accident. This message has found you at the exact divine time you were meant to receive it. You are not losing your mind, you are remembering your soul. So before we begin, take a moment and type 1111 in the comment section if this message resonates with you at the perfect moment. That number carries a powerful vibration of awakening and alignment. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and join this community of awakened souls, because every week we dive deep into the mysteries of spiritual transformation, divine calling, and the true power that lives within the chosen ones. 1. Heightened intuition and inner knowing. When a chosen one remembers who they are, the first sacred ability that awakens is their intuition, but not the kind most people experience. This intuition is not a guess, not a hunch. It is divine intelligence moving through your spirit. It's the voice of the Creator speaking in the language of your soul. Suddenly, you begin to sense things long before they unfold. You can feel when someone's words don't match their vibration. You can detect hidden motives beneath smiles and discern truth beneath confusion. It's as if your spiritual antennas expand, allowing you to pick up messages that others cannot hear. This inner knowing becomes your internal compass, guiding you away from deception, manipulation, and spiritual traps. You stop relying on external voices for clarity because the divine voice within you becomes louder than any noise outside you. Synchronicities, repeating numbers, dreams, and signs begin to appear, not as coincidences but as divine confirmations. You start understanding that intuition is God's way of protecting and positioning you. The more you trust this inner guidance, the more accurate it becomes. Life begins to flow instead of force. You stop chasing answers and start allowing revelation to unfold naturally. When your higher self speaks, it no longer whispers. It roars through your feelings, your instincts, your awareness. And as you follow that divine guidance, you realize that every choice, every path, every moment was leading you closer to your destiny. 2. Energy sensitivity and spiritual discernment. After awakening, your sensitivity to energy amplifies in ways you never imagined. You begin to feel the unseen world more vividly than the physical one. You can enter a room and instantly sense its vibration, whether it's uplifting or suffocating, pure or corrupted. People no longer need to tell you who they are. Their energy reveals it before they speak. This sensitivity becomes both a gift and a responsibility. You start noticing how certain environments drain you while others recharge you. The music, the conversations, even the social media content you consume, all of it starts to matter. You no longer tolerate what disrespects your peace or lowers your frequency. Your discernment sharpens. You can sense when someone's spirit is genuine or when it carries hidden darkness masked by charm. You naturally begin to distance yourself from anything or anyone that disrupts your alignment. This is not pride, it's protection. You realize your energy is sacred currency and must be guarded wisely. The things that once entertained you now feel heavy and meaningless because your soul has evolved beyond surface-level stimulation. You crave authenticity, silence, and divine connection. You begin to surround yourself with people who inspire, not drain, who speak life, not gossip. Your spiritual discernment teaches you to recognize that not every smiling face has good intentions, and not every connection is meant to continue. This awareness empowers you to move with spiritual intelligence, to protect your peace as though it were your most valuable treasure, because now it truly is. 3. The gift of manifestation through thought and emotion. Chosen ones who awaken begin to understand a divine truth. Your thoughts and emotions are not passive. They are the blueprints of your reality. You realize that what you focus on expands, and what you feel becomes magnetic. When your thoughts are anchored in faith, gratitude, and love, your energy becomes a powerful beacon that draws blessings, opportunities, and miracles toward you. You start to witness how the universe mirrors your internal state. The more peace you cultivate, the more harmony surrounds you. The more you release fear, the faster abundance flows. This revelation shifts everything because you recognize that you are never at the mercy of circumstances. You are always co-creating them. Manifestation becomes effortless, not through control, but through alignment. You stop begging for what's yours and begin to energetically prepare for it. You no longer say, "I want," but "I already have," because faith sees what the physical eyes cannot. Your emotions become your compass. If something feels heavy or restrictive, it's out of alignment. If it feels light and expansive, it's divine confirmation. As this gift strengthens, you start attracting experiences that reflect your inner transformation. Opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere, but you understand they were always aligned with your vibration. You learn that your power doesn't come from trying harder, it comes from being aligned with who you truly are. You stop chasing outcomes and instead radiate the energy that invites them in. Manifestation, for a chosen one, is no longer magic. It's mastery. 4. Emotional alchemy, turning pain into power. One of the most transformative abilities that awaken in a chosen one is emotional alchemy, the sacred art of turning pain into power. You begin to see that nothing you went through was meant to destroy you, it was meant to shape you. Every betrayal becomes a revelation, every heartbreak becomes an initiation into wisdom, every moment of loneliness becomes a space for divine strength to grow. Instead of suppressing your emotions, you begin to listen to them. You realize that anger is not weakness, it's a messenger asking for healing. Sadness is not failure, it's the soul reminding you to release what no longer serves your evolution. Through this awareness, you stop reacting and start transforming. You allow your emotions to flow through you instead of defining you. The pain that once controlled you becomes the very fire that forges your spiritual armor. You start to use your wounds as windows through which others can see light. You become a healer not because life was easy, but because you learn to extract purpose from suffering. This transformation is not instant. It's a sacred process that unfolds with patience, reflection, and forgiveness. The chosen ones who master emotional alchemy become unshakable. You understand that your scars are not symbols of defeat, but evidence of divine transformation. What once broke you now builds you. The same emotions that once paralyzed you now empower you. This is true mastery, when pain no longer defines your story, but refines your soul. 5. Spiritual vision, seeing beyond the physical. When a chosen one awakens, their vision expands far beyond the ordinary. You no longer perceive life solely through the lens of what is tangible or visible. Instead, you begin to see the divine patterns woven into every experience. Every encounter, every delay, every obstacle reveals a deeper purpose, a hidden lesson orchestrated by the universe. The mundane becomes miraculous, and coincidences become confirmations of a grand design. You start noticing synchronicities that others dismiss, patterns that align perfectly with your growth, and signs that guide you toward your destiny. Déjà vu intensifies. Dreams become vivid, and spiritual insights arrive with a clarity that cannot be ignored. You develop the ability to read situations intuitively, understanding the spiritual energy beneath events. This expanded vision allows you to navigate life with purpose rather than panic. You stop chasing outcomes because you can see the invisible hand shaping the path ahead. You learn to trust that even when things appear chaotic, they are divinely orchestrated. This vision also enhances discernment. You can intuitively perceive people's true intentions, motivations, and alignment with your journey. Spiritual vision is not about seeing the future as fixed. It's about perceiving the flow of divine intelligence behind the scenes. It allows you to move confidently, guided by wisdom rather than fear. As your perception sharpens, you begin to live in a state of deep trust and surrender. You understand that every heartbreak, delay, or unexpected turn is part of a larger tapestry designed to awaken your soul, refine your character, and align you with your highest purpose. You start living as if you are co-authoring the universe itself, aware that nothing is wasted and every step carries sacred meaning. 6. The ability to heal yourself and others. As your awakening deepens, a healing energy begins to emerge naturally from within you. This is not learned or forced. It is a divine frequency that flows through your very being. You realize that you have the ability to heal yourself, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and even physically, by reconnecting with the life force that runs through all existence. As this healing energy strengthens, it begins to attract others who are in need of light. They may feel lost, broken, or burdened, and your presence becomes a beacon of hope. Your words carry vibration, your touch carries calm, and your silence communicates peace. You learn that true healing is not about fixing others or taking on their pain. It is about inspiring them to reconnect with their own divine essence. Energy flows through you effortlessly, allowing you to guide others toward balance and alignment simply by existing in your truth. Prayer, intention, and spiritual practices become extensions of your natural state rather than rituals you must perform. You discover that the healer and the healed are one. The more you nurture your own soul, the more potent your energy becomes for others. Your life begins to ripple with transformative power, touching lives in ways you never imagined. Healing becomes a natural expression of your awakened state. You realize that you are not responsible for everyone's journey, but by embodying divine alignment, you create a space where healing is inevitable. Through this gift, you begin to understand that love, presence, and authenticity are the most powerful forms of medicine in existence. 7. The courage to walk alone in truth. Awakening inevitably separates you from the crowd, and one of the most profound abilities that emerges is the courage to walk alone in truth. You begin to realize that your frequency no longer aligns with mass consciousness or collective expectations. People may misunderstand you, judge you, or attempt to pull you back into conformity, but you remain steadfast. Solitude is no longer a punishment, it is a sacred space for reflection, growth, and alignment with the divine. Walking alone allows you to hear the subtle whispers of your higher self without distraction. You stop seeking external approval because you understand that validation from others is fleeting and unreliable. Your sense of self becomes anchored in truth, not in the opinions of the world. Even when the path feels lonely, you recognize that it is the most liberating journey you can take. Independence strengthens your spiritual identity and allows your authentic light to shine without compromise. You no longer follow trends, popular opinions, or the comfort of the familiar. Instead, you walk in alignment with the divine blueprint written uniquely for you. This courage is not arrogance. It is wisdom manifested as resilience. You begin to understand that the trials of walking alone are actually divine tests designed to prepare you for higher responsibility and greater spiritual authority. By embracing solitude, you become a sovereign being, capable of navigating life with clarity, purpose, and unwavering faith. In walking alone, you discover that true companionship is not external. It is the partnership between your soul and the divine. 8. The power of detachment and divine surrender. Another profound ability that awakens in a chosen one is the power of detachment and divine surrender. You begin to understand that control is an illusion and that true mastery comes from releasing attachment to outcomes, people, and timelines. You stop forcing life to conform to your expectations and allow divine orchestration to lead the way. This surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom in action. You recognize that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is not meant for you cannot stay, no matter how hard you try to hold on to it. The more you release, the more the universe conspires in your favor. Detachment allows you to move through life with grace, peace, and effortless flow. You stop clinging to fear, scarcity, and disappointment and begin to operate from faith, abundance, and trust. The act of surrender opens doors that could never be forced open through willpower alone. It teaches patience, humility, and divine timing. You learn that letting go is not about giving up. It is about creating space for what is truly aligned with your highest self. Miracles begin to occur naturally when you surrender because your energy no longer resists life but moves in harmony with it. Detachment becomes your superpower because it allows you to navigate life with clarity, purpose, and serenity. You begin to understand that the less you chase, the more life meets you exactly where you are meant to be, proving that faith and surrender are the most potent forms of spiritual mastery. 9. The mastery of creation and influence. The final ability that emerges in a chosen one is the mastery of creation and influence. You realize that every thought, every word, and every vibration you emit carries creative power. You are no longer a passive participant in life, you are a conscious co-creator alongside the divine. You understand that reality itself responds to your energy, and as you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your higher self, you begin to shape your world intentionally. Influence no longer comes from force, manipulation, or persuasion. Instead, it flows naturally through your presence, your authenticity, and your alignment with divine truth. Others are inspired simply by witnessing your consistency, clarity, and unwavering integrity. You begin to lead not through authority but through vibration. Your energy becomes magnetic, drawing people, opportunities, and experiences that resonate with your soul's purpose. This mastery teaches that true creation begins from within. Change the world outside by first transforming the world inside. You become a living demonstration of divine alignment, and your life becomes a testament to the power of awakened consciousness. Through this mastery, you inspire, heal, guide, and elevate without trying, because everything emanates from a state of harmony with the universe. You no longer fear life or the unknown, for you understand that your inner power, when fully realized, is capable of influencing both destiny and reality itself. This is the ultimate awakening, the realization that your life is sacred, purposeful, and entirely in your hands, guided by the divine. Chosen one, your awakening is not an accident. It's divine timing. Every storm you survived was preparing you to rise in this very moment. You are remembering your divine nature, your power, your wisdom, your purpose. You are not behind, you are right on schedule. This is the Alchemy of Awareness channel. If this message spoke to your soul, type 1111 in the comments as a sign of your awakening, and let the universe know you are ready to walk in your divine power. Thank you for watching.